This is the Kaito KA500 radio, shortwave, FM, AM, and the weather band. Oops, it's kind of bad reception in here. But let's try the weather band first. Whoops, wrong knob. There we go. There's the local station. What I like is that when you can put it in alert mode, which is this one here, it keeps track of the signal and sounds two quite loud tones, and then it turns the radio on. So if you're waiting for such a thing as an alert of a tornado or something, you can have this set to here. Okay, let's go. Whoops, not off. There we go. So that is the what? There we are. That's from Edmonton. The other one was from Long Lake.
Winds becoming northwest 20 kilometers per hour, adjusting to 40 early in the afternoon. High 23, UV index 6 or high. Saturday night, clear, increasing cloudiness overnight.
And of course it has. Whoops, what have I done here? It's hard looking through the viewfinder. Okay. This should be FM. Yeah. It's a bit loud.
$240. Use it and either recycle it or dispose of it, where it ultimately ends up in the landfill.
Sometimes an item can be recycled.
Now, that was FM. It's about 4:30, almost 5 o'clock in the daytime. So this is the AM radio, which isn't all that good. It's got a lot of birdies and processor noise. Reception is fairly good, but I don't like it on weak stations because of the fact that it kind of pumps up and down instead of just have a steadily fading in and out volume like an ordinary
if they thought you were guilty, they would throw in a black stone. And so then they would pull the stones out of the urn, and if you had more white stones than black stones, you would be acquitted. If you had more black stones than white stones, the city heads up that the QE2 is moving slowly southbound.
See, this is another thing I don't like.
That when you were acquitted in a trial by time, and we have reports that police are on route
Hear that tone in the back?
Avenue and 111th Street.
And puts that on there.
More mouse contest. Here it is. Shopping Gasoline Alley is Alberta's first drive-through bubble tea.
This to crack into the home ownership market.
It's going to
So that's AM. And now, shortwave 1. I think I'll skip that because there's no low frequency stuff. Let's go to 10 megahertz. Now, it's not connected to any external antenna, because, well, it's kind of rough tuning on this. It tends to overload the front end. It's got a very cheap front end, and it's got one of those processors that tends to do funny things. There's WWV, 15 megahertz.
Acetone, 22 hours, 50 minutes.
Yeah, 2250 UTC. Okay, what else we got here? I find the tuning is very fiddly because it doesn't have a fine tuning knob. But for, what was it I paid? 50 bucks, I think? Yeah, that's what I paid. How about that? Oh, that's the digital ham stuff. This kind of reminds me of the 60s type of radio where it didn't have that AGC with the high noise floor and all. Whoop, end of the dial. One thing I like too is that the radio has, in addition to a nice carrying handle, it's got a dynamo crank. So that's very nice to use when you want dynamo power and whatever. And then it folds neatly into there. It has a solar panel on the back too if you want to charge it that way. And underneath the panel is lights as a reading lamp. If I can get the... oh, I'm pushing the wrong way, I think. There's this thing. There's the switch. That's better. It's got nice little LED lights on there. I'll turn the kitchen light off and you can see that it lights up the table rather nicely. So if I had a piece of paper or logbook or something, I could log in what I'm doing. And then of course you can fold it down, and it also has one of these alert light thingies. You know, you can put it in a car and it'll signal that your car is stopped and whatever. It's got a flashlight too, plus it lights up the dial, which I think is kind of silly, but what can you expect at the low price? But the flashlight is good anyway, isn't it? So, yeah, it's just a tiny little bulb. One LED, I think. So, all in all, a nice radio at a nice price, with a nice handle and a telescoping antenna, which doesn't work all that well, but it does the job. And of course you can power it two ways. The batteries, which go in the back, and of course there's also the an in and out jack. That's something I like too. Oops, sorry, get my finger in the way. Yeah, let's see if I can juggle the phone and the radio at the same time. Yeah, so you can charge a cell phone on this too. Not very long, of course, but you can do that. And it's got earphone and power jack and whatever. You can charge it on a computer or one of those little wall wart deals. There's the batteries. And that's it for this one.